Hi there. I know the washer is running. I apologize for that in the background, but I'm just too charged. I want to record. Okay, this is from June 7th. The first of that day, the Mayan day, was tonight. I have no idea why I'm so antsy, so restless just now. I've done all I could to settle it down, and it just won't settle. So, thanks Source, there is journaling. Let's find out. How good are we at really expanding and really letting go of all self-images, all ideas that we have about who we are? We're really called on to expand in a way that just hasn't happened to the human race here before. That's what I feel, that things will be getting crazy pretty soon, and we need to be way more open to the possibilities than most of us are. And by that I mean the sheeple and the sleeple, not so much us. Now, I don't mean getting crazy as in everything falling apart and war and all that stuff, not at all. I mean crazy in that we don't even know what our capabilities are as human beings or as light beings in consort with the human being we're working with, the self. What can we do? All we know right now is what we have done before. And I suspect we need to throw out that old playbook anyway. This is Human 2.0. Everyone, start watching your thoughts with this in mind. It's easy, it's time to become aware for sure that you are telepathic. You are, just accept it. You can do this, but you have to watch. Every person's thoughts come with a sort of signature, a thumbprint, if you will. There's a certain frequency of energy, almost a certain melody that they contain. Just like every voice is characteristic of the body, so is every thought. Start watching yours. Center first and as much and often as possible, but of course, the viewing is much better that way. The perspective is broader. You'll both see more, plus get the benefit of more intuition from within. Be present to yourself, with yourself, and be still. Even if it's only for 3 or 5 minutes at a time. Practice being still and quiet, settling down. Take in a really deep breath and just be. The more quiet you are, the much better your chances of spotting when other people's thoughts come through. And I promise they do. This is a total fact, and it's up to you to discover it for yourself. You know how you think. You know your favorite subjects of thought and your opinions regarding those. Now, I'm not saying to be in mind. Just be aware of mind and how it works, your mind. The best way to practice this is around someone who is emotional for some reason. It doesn't matter what. The emotional intensity turns up the volume on his thoughts. They'll come through more clearly. You may even feel in your body which chakra he's in, likely the gut. When you get a chance to be near someone who's upset, is an ideal time to clear your internal space and just tune in. There's no need to reach out to the person or get invasive in any way. You're not trying to read someone's mind, just your own. I'm telling you, quite commonly, you have been taking in others' thoughts and calling them your own. That's how it works for a sleeple, but we're waking up, so we're getting more and more conscious, if you will, more self-aware. Believe it or not, you can also do this with the media, but I suggest caution there. You're sensitive and intuitive, likely more than you know. You're maybe just not used to thinking of yourself this way. but you are. So I don't suggest watching things that are lower vibrational just to find someone who is upset. That being said, when you're settled within and reasonably centered, you can turn on any show, movies or TV series work fine, and watch it without diving in and getting too involved. Keep your self-awareness happening and then just watch. What you'll likely find is an actor with his or her mind on other things, not concentrating on his character or lines. While you're watching them, you may suddenly get a bit distracted and think that's yourself. Well, maybe it's not. Tune in to the fact that it could be the actor instead. See if you can tell which one. You get good at this and it's pretty easy. For me, the secret is simply being self-aware or attuned, centered. Yeah, in heart. That's all. Then when you watch something, you're in an ideal space to pick up people's thoughts and feelings. Note it especially when you suddenly have a feeling that just doesn't jive with what you're doing or thinking. Stop and look around you. Who is there? What are they doing? What are their issues? What can you tell? Could it be one of them? Alternately, the next most likely choice is someone you're close to going through something right now. So note the time. Jot it down even. If you like, you could even open up a telepathy notebook, whatever floats your boat. Then, when you find out something later, whether through that person or through others, you can go back and check the details you wrote down, see if you're right and how close. Now, of course, have fun with this. Don't get all serious. That's both no fun and a drag on your energies anyway. Being relaxed and in tune works best. Finally, we also tune in to stuff in the world. I know it sounds crazy, but it's well established that we do. The various testings that were going on pre-9/11 all showed huge bumps prior to the attacks. Somehow, we as people just knew. The biggest thing here might be just to open up to the possibility that your antenna could work that well. I suggest they do. So, though it's highly likely that your telepathic transmission you're receiving is first from someone in physical proximity and second from those who are emotionally close, it can also come in from strangers and crowds. I mean, that's a well duh. And from around the world. Drop all beliefs that either say you're insensitive or not connected to such things, or that it doesn't run in your family, or maybe that it's all just weird and you don't want anything to do with it. Root them out and burn those puppies. Oops. Another phrase that has to go. What a horrible picture. Yikes. Okay, so that's just a general primer to get those started for whom this is new, to prime your pump, as it were. You are telepathic. Time to wake up, open up, and just own it. You'd be surprised at how much help an attitude change can make on such abilities showing up for you. Remember, they've been there all along. You've just been labeling such thoughts and feelings as something else, namely as your own. Well, they're not. Why not open up to the reality that, depending on how much exposure to people and crowds you get, that you get at least 10% of your thoughts from outside. All you need do is admit or accept that as a fact or a strong possibility. By doing that, you'll simply begin to notice when it's happening. You've opened the door. This isn't an if, it's a when. Go with it and have some fun. Now, I came back and put a long PS on this. PS, I needn't tell you how helpful this can be as a survival skill, right? When you take this walk to tune in to your very own skills, you'll likewise become more sensitive to those around you, those who you may have been ignoring or just not noticing. It can help. Plus, the one thing I didn't cover directly is that as frequencies are rising, so are our skills. We're getting downloads of old-time skills we used to have or have still, just maybe on other dimensions, layers, or levels. Such things are becoming more and more accessible to us in the now and here. The now here that is nowhere. So be alert. It won't hurt to simply expect that your DNA is getting a royal tune-up. That will open you up to new possibilities you might have been close to before. Play with this. Daydream it, if you like. Play pretend. Try talking to a fairy, a flower, or a tree. Hey, trees are magnificent, stately beings overall. They have a real presence, each one. So don't be surprised when you link up with one. Or you can link up with the whole genus, the whole group. Nature and the nature spirits are glad to assist. If you ask, you might be surprised at how many of them would be eager to lend a hand at helping you tune in to more frequencies than you're used to reading. They'll be happy to commune with you, and that's telepathy too. Give it a go. Finally, each one of us is never alone. You've got spiritual guides at the very least. If you believe in angels too, then you've likely got numbers of those. I wouldn't go too far afield with this while it's still new to you. This is no way to reach out to ETs or such things before you've shed your telepathy training wheels. Get yourself good and grounded first, okay? Just a word to the wise, some of those beings like to mess with us. At some point, one of the things I see up ahead is that we'll be merging dimensions. So we'll start to see ghosts, spirits, alive and well, just on other planes. Now, this will freak some people out, but not you, if you've given this idea some thought, some pondering time. You know we cannot destroy energy, just change its form. So these beings are very much alive. They're not evil or zombies or demons and such. They're mostly just beings like you and me, just not in 3D. My suggestion with this is not to reach out to these folks. Keep your wings clipped for long enough to get comfortable with the whole ESP and telepathy thing right here in 3D. Don't confuse the waters. Get your practice with folks and friends that you know, not by opening a whole new can of worms, Pandora style, and getting who knows what going on. Remember, friends, wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Do stay somewhat sensible. You can tell your spirit guide you'd like things to move a good bit faster if you like, but stay anchored and work with that one. Don't go off roaming into things that you aren't ready for yet. Trust your heart. Let your heart be your guide. So don't add unnecessary confusion into something that's meant to be light-hearted and fun. There, I've played mom. Now, go do as you like. Good day.